So, writing and speaking are tools that actually help me to heal a lot. And I wanted to share my thoughts in the hopes that maybe I could inspire myself and maybe even someone else. So, it's so important to listen to the will of God tugging at your heart. If you know me, I've had a very active career thus far in my young life. You saw the posts, the photos, the stories of doing what appeared to be phenomenal things for communities around the country for the past 8 or 9 years. And what was not apparent was the tremendous sacrifice of time from my family and friends that I endured while out saving the world. Since 2018, I felt God tugging me to give more time to my family, to love hard, to forgive quickly, and to spend every second possible with my family. And I did as I was instructed. First, I stopped accepting ministry invitations and widely focused on my church, my local assembly. I made a very painful decision to leave a job I loved with my everything and still do, and took on an equally as important role at an incredible organization that allowed me to do what I loved with a bit more flexibility. And COVID actually helped in that regard. So on, so forth. I made changes to my life, my career. I then built stronger relationships with my parents, my siblings, my cousins. I married my soulmate. After 7 years of celibacy, I visited family on out islands, among other things that I am more proud of than any other achievements in my entire life and career. I didn't know, of course, that my dad would be leaving us at the age of 46, and I have still not accepted this. But the thing is, if I had taken God's leading for granted, I would have had regrets, and I have none. It was easy to want to be known, to do more, to make more money, to go more places, and to let people know that Stephon Evans was a young, successful man of action. The will of God, however, was that I stayed home, visited my folks, that I settled as a husband and built my family. Now, in the face of one of the hardest times that I have ever seen, I can sit back and know that despite any disagreements, and boy, there was plenty, that unconditional love was the order of the day. One of the things I have done and will always continue to do is encourage people to show love to one another. I have a scripture tattooed on me from John 13:35, and from the New King James Version, it reads, "By this all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." If you love consistently and unconditionally, even in the disagreements, the anger, and the hurt you experience from those close to you, when it is their time or yours to come home, you won't have to carry the burden and pain of regret. The beauty of unconditional love is that it can be given even when you or someone you love always gets it wrong. Even when you fight, when you don't see eye to eye, or when you don't want anything to do with that person. And I'm not saying that this was the case with my own father, but even in my pain, I find myself wanting to share words of encouragement for anyone who may be feeling the pain that I am right now, or who knows it. Do not dwell on things that tear you apart. No relationship will ever be perfect, but every day you wake up, do one thing that demonstrates your unconditional love for those you hold dear. Make sacrifices and adjustments. Push yourself a little more, because love is the factor that will mend broken relationships in life. And it's the factor that will give you the ability to cope in death. Just as it is so vividly and poetically described in 1 Corinthians 13, especially in verse 13, love is the greatest virtue and the greatest gift that God has given to us. I encourage myself and I encourage you to push beyond the limitations of strife, of drama, of malice, envy, anger, hatred, and disagreement, and go and let your love be known in your own way to those that you care about.